Hello again and welcome to another episode of I Want to Talk About This Album. And today as I record this, it is Wednesday, July 23rd. Today marks the end of an era. After many years, lots of good times, lots of heavy metal. Today is going to be my last video from this apartment. I'm moving to a new apartment. I don't know the order in which these videos are going to be uploaded. Today I'm talking about the Black Sabbath, as you can see in the description down below. It's Black Sabbath Volume 4. I do have 3 episodes. In the industry, we say in the can. That means they're done, they're complete, they're edited, they've been approved by the producers, everything is good. They're ready to go, but they're just not available for public consumption yet. I don't normally give spoilers, but I will this time. In order, they are, I did a Who album ranking, I think at the beginning of July. I did that like 3 weeks ago. It's in the queue. In the order I did them, the Who album ranking. What else did I do? Oh, Fastway, All Fired Up. I did that episode a couple of weeks ago. And just last week, or most recently, I did Slayer, Seasons in the Abyss. I did them in that order. I don't know when they will be up or not. I might... I'm still in Ozzy and Black Sabbath mode. Obviously, Ozzy just died yesterday in my real time. He died yesterday, and the Black Sabbath, the big Back to the Beginning farewell concert was on July 5th, so that's still fresh in my mind. So I might put this up before those other 3, the Who, Fastway, and Slayer, just to strike while the iron is hot, I think is what they say. Or I might put those 3 up and then this one, Black Sabbath Volume 4. For me, it's definitely the last one that I'm doing in this apartment. For you, there might be 3 more after this if I put this up before those 3. Have I over-explained myself enough? I was told in March they're selling the building in which I live, and that I had to get the fuck out, is what they told me. All right, so I have found a new place. I'll have to, I guess, I don't know how well this apartment is going to do for the new one for these videos, but we'll see. So stay tuned for a brand new aesthetic to these videos. Now, I think the time for, sadness, and, yesterday I did the video talking about Ozzy, my history with Ozzy. He had just died yesterday. I talked about, you don't have to listen to what I talked about. You can go watch it if you want. And it was very sad yesterday. Very sad day yesterday. Very morose. I was very I don't know if shaken up is too strong to say, but yesterday was a strange day for me. But I feel that now I'm back to feeling good about Ozzy and Black Sabbath. It kind of reminds me of when my dad died. My dad died in 2015. And obviously when somebody dies, especially somebody close to you, of course you feel sad. But my dad, I think he was around Ozzy's age when he died. He was 70, how old was he? 74, I think, when he died. And he had been sick with cancer for quite some time. So you knew the end was coming. And when he comes, when the time comes that he dies, you obviously you're sad, but there's a sense of relief. And when I went to Canada for all the things that go on after somebody dies, believe it or not, I actually had a great trip. I wasn't happy that my dad died, but I really, really did have a good time. It was great to talk about him with so many people, have memories of him and things like that. That's how I feel today about Ozzy. So, and man, oh man, it's been so great in these last 24 hours, I guess, reading all the tributes to Ozzy from different people, musicians, celebrities, friends, strangers on the internet. I've enjoyed reading all of them. It's made me feel much more, I don't know, it's given me a little bit of comfort. Maybe I'm being a little bit dramatic here again. But I've really, I don't like the R.I.P. Ozzy. That's bullshit. If you have something to say it. Don't. That's kind of lazy. That doesn't say anything. But other than that, I've enjoyed. What I really liked, a few that really stood out, I saw that CNN had a couple of features on Ozzy on their YouTube page. I saw, including Henry Rollins was on CNN talking about his relationship with Ozzy. I enjoyed seeing that. I was very, very happy to see Ozzy getting his due. I think he's very respected. Much more, he was always respected by me, but I didn't really realize how big his death was until I started seeing. You expect you're going to see this from, testimonials from Scott Ian and whoever else, Slayer, whatever. But I saw testimonials or news on him from all the major news networks. I was very happy about that. I saw, what did I see that I really liked? Oh, I really, really liked that Coldplay, and I don't like Coldplay at all. I couldn't care less about Coldplay. I think they're not a good band at all. I really don't like their music. But I did see that they did changes last night. They played a concert, I can't remember where, and they did changes on it. I don't think they did the full song, but a snippet of it. And the singer, I know his name is Chris Martin. He talked about Ozzy. He dedicated the song to Ozzy. I thought that was great. I learned about that on Blabbermouth, and of course you're going to get the typical idiotic, moronic, imbecilic Blabbermouth commenters. Unreal how many people had a problem with that, saying Coldplay isn't metal. Why are they doing Ozzy? Why Coldplay isn't metal? Why is Blabbermouth reporting on it? People saying Coldplay sucks and that's it. Yeah, maybe Coldplay does suck. That's not the point. The point is that they were paying tribute to Ozzy. I loved it. I love seeing that. Rod Stewart played in Toronto. I'm from Toronto, and he played there last night. And he didn't do an Ozzy song, but he dedicated Forever Young to Ozzy. He had big pictures of Ozzy on the screen behind him. He said Ozzy was a legend, and he said, this song is for you, Ozzy. Forever Young. That was cool. I like seeing the ones that you don't expect from. I like seeing these words and hearing these words from people you wouldn't expect it from outside of the metal world. One, I think my favorite one out of all of them, oh my God, it almost made me cry. And I just saw it this morning. He posted it yesterday, but I saw it this morning. Jake E. Lee, and I talked about him when I talked about in the video, the Back to the Beginning farewell. God, I can't say the word farewell concert. I did that video a couple of weeks ago. And I said Jake E. Lee was of all the people that were involved in that concert, the one I was happiest about that was taking part in it was Jake E. Lee. I'm a huge Jake E. Lee fan. He and Ozzy and Sharon had a big falling out decades ago. I have learned since then that they had never seen each other since then, which I didn't know, but it makes sense. And so Jake posted, I think late last night, he posted a text that he received from Ozzy. I think it was the day after the concert, the Back to the Beginning farewell concert a couple of weeks ago. While he was waiting, I think at the airport to fly back to the US, he got a text from Ozzy, and he shared the text. And first of all, I have to say, Ozzy types or texts exactly how you would expect him to type or text. Very, very Ozzy style texting. And he said something like, "Hey Jake, it was so great to see you. I wish I'd had more time, to spend with you." He said, "We'll have to get together, next time when I'm in the U.S.," which obviously never came. And he said, "We'll have to shoot the shit." And he said, "I hope you had a good time." And he said, "Where are you living now? I recently heard, or most recently knew that you were living in Las Vegas. Are you still there? I would really love to sit down with you and catch up." I loved reading that. That was just so great. All right. So now I've got a few other things. I'm very talkative, in case you haven't noticed. I always am, but I think even more today. I feel very good today. I feel so different than yesterday. I'm going to do a little bit of show and tell. I'm going to start with, first of all, I'll show you the record, the album I'm going to talk about today, just in case you don't believe me. There it is, and I'm going to open it up. I'm going to take the plastic off it and reveal the insides as well as talking about it. But I sent a picture of this. If you pay attention to these videos that I do, I have this custom or ritual or habit when I do these episodes. I always sit outside on my balcony, listen to the record I'm going to talk about, in addition to having listened to it earlier when I was walking, including today, and This is why nobody watches my videos. I just talk too long. We're probably 9 minutes into this already. And I always sit outside on my balcony, the second listen, and drink one single beer and eat a bag of peanuts. I have a couple of different peanuts in my rotation that I like to eat while I'm mentalizing myself. Today, I did something different, and I sent the picture to my friend Monty, who was the one who broke the news of Ozzy dying to me yesterday. And so I took a picture of the Volume 4 Super Deluxe version, which I just showed you, along with my snack for today. And I said, I just got this. This is what I'm going to talk about today. And I'm going to share what it was. And he said, I said, I'm going to do a video about this. And then I joked, I said, just so you know, the video is going to be about Black Sabbath, not about my snack. And he said, you should do a video about the snack. I'm not going to do a video dedicated to the snack, but I am going to show it. And again, if you've been following, if you followed my adventures in Thailand earlier this year and in Vietnam a couple years ago, I love Pringles and Pringles style chips, any off-brand Pringles, I love them. And that's what I bought today. Look at this. Ghost Pepper Ranch Pringles. Yeah, and they're not, they're rated as 2, whatever that means. I hate ratings. I don't know if I've talked about that before. They're rated 2 as a medium, which is kind of strange. You think if it's ghost pepper, one of the hottest peppers in the world, wouldn't you want it to be, blazing your face off? I guess the ranch aspect of it kind of offsets the piquancy of the ghost pepper. And also, I think maybe people like me, a little bit of marketing. If you just called it spicy ranch, maybe I wouldn't have cared. But when they say ghost pepper, you go, oh, ghost pepper. Oh, I know what that is. Scorpion, what's the other one? Scorpion pepper? I have a Tabasco scorpion pepper. So that was, what the hell am I doing? Talking about Pringles, for God's sake. So that was my snack today and beer. And I did finish the can, and the empty beer can is in there. It was a Carta Blanca beer. That's what I drank today. All right. Now, one other show and tell before I get to the real episode. As you can see, I have a lot of concert posters, and this is just a small fraction of them. I think I have probably around 40, all from concerts that I've been to. One that has never been displayed here, and you'll see why when I show it. I'm going to show it now. It's a Black Sabbath one. I did see I change these occasionally. And maybe in my new apartment, they might be different ones and maybe displayed more prominently. I don't know. But I do change them from time to time. I used to have a Black Sabbath one. I think it was in the middle one at the bottom, which I'm probably blocking like this. It didn't really stand out as a Black Sabbath one. You had to look closely to see the cross and the words Black Sabbath. But there is one that I got, and that was from the time I saw them in 2013. The one that I have that I'm going to show you right now is from when I saw them in Mexico City also that tour was, the end tour was 2016, 2017. I think they played in Mexico at the end of 2016. Let me see the date. Yeah, it was November 16th, 2016 is when I got this poster. I may as well show it to you now. This is amazing. This is really something. I'm very happy to have this. Look at this. I don't know how far back I have to stand to get the whole thing in the frame and to put it into, I don't know if you can tell, if you can put it into perspective how big it is. This is by far the biggest poster I have. This is like, I guess, 2 feet by 3 feet. And it's very, very heavy. And let me see, to put it into perspective, look at it compared to these other ones. It's massive. It's a huge poster. Hard to find wall space for it. But there it is. I want to show that. I think the cool thing about this poster, it's not my favorite poster visually, but the cool thing about this poster is the story about it is I think there were only 30 of these printed, and it is an official poster. It's not a bootleg or anything like that. It's official. It's real. And you can see, maybe I should show this. There it is down at the bottom. The end, November 16th, 2016. And can you see also? Yeah, you can see down here in the corner, it's signed by the artist, a guy called Kraken. I don't know if I can show it there. But the story behind this is it was never sold publicly. But I know this guy personally, Kraken, and which one? That Cadaver poster at the top was Kraken, and this Metallica one is also the same guy, same artist. And so he did this poster. I think there were only 30 printed, he told me. And he said about 10 or 15 or something went to the band. They got those. I don't know what happened to the other ones. And I got one of them. This was not numbered one of 30 or any of the 30. This was an AP, which is artist proof, I think. And he had an extra one, and I got it from him. I guess it must have been about a year after, maybe in 2017 I got it. And I can't remember how it came up, but he had sent me some other posters, as you can see. And he said, how did I say? I can't even remember how I knew about it in the first place. Maybe he posted on his social media or something. And I asked him, and he said, yeah, I've got one more. He said, if you want to come to my apartment, it's yours. I paid for it. It was. I remember it was 1,000 pesos, which is incredible. In 2017, that was more than it would be now. I think, even the non-limited ones are around 800 now. So this was 1,000 pesos, which is around these days, that's probably $52, $53 US. Back then, it was maybe closer to $60 US. So I went to his apartment and I got it, and I'm very, very, very happy to have it. It's extremely limited. You won't find this poster anywhere, and I'm happy to have it. All right. So now getting to finally, I don't know how deep we are. I guess about 17 minutes into this episode, it feels like. I'm going to talk about Volume 4 of Black Sabbath. I did an episode of this, I guess, about 2 years ago or so, probably sometime in 2023. It is my second favorite Black Sabbath album. Paranoid is my first, as I talked about that in the episode. As I'm recording this, it's not up yet, but by the time this comes up, the super deluxe version of Paranoid will be up. And thank you again to the anonymous donor for sending me Paranoid, because while I appreciate your gift, you've now opened up the door for me to act impulsively and buy and spend my own money on these very expensive box sets. I don't know if this will be the last one that I buy. They are it was a decent price. It was 27% off. This was about a little bit over $100 US, maybe $110 US around there, which is great for what it is. 5 records, a nice big thick 40-page book, a poster, the cool packaging, good value. So thank you for making me open up the purse strings. And I've lost my place. Oh yeah, so I consider, and I've always considered, I think Paranoid my favorite. Part of that, of course, is because I love it, because it's got fucking awesome songs, and musically it's just great. But a lot of that also has to do with nostalgia. I got that was the first Black Sabbath album that I ever got in 1980. And so obviously for nostalgic purposes, it has I have a sentimental attachment to it, which a lot of people disregard. People just say, this is my favorite, because I like this song, which obviously that's the main thing, but I think the sentimentality, your attachment to it, the timeline, whatever was happening in your life, how you came to know that record, I think that shouldn't be understated. So if you compare just the music, which is impossible to do, I can't discount the sentimental, nostalgic attachment that I have with Paranoid, but if you could isolate just the music, and maybe if I got Volume 4 first before Paranoid, maybe Volume 4 would be my favorite. But musically, man, they're really, really good. Listening to them, not quite back to back, but so close together. This is a Donald Trump thing I realized I was just doing. Man, Volume 4 can really, really, really stand on its own and give Paranoid a run for its money musically. I think it's probably... It's arguably their best, for me, their best sounding album, especially the guitars and the drums just sounding, the whole album sounds great, but the guitars and drums especially, Tony Iommi's guitar tone on this record was, I just think it was so perfectly Black Sabbath, and the drums, Bill Ward's drumming, I think was always awesome, and they always sounded great, but I think they for me really pop on volume 4. So I'll talk about it quickly. I don't want to spend too much time talking about the actual record because I've done that in a previous episode. This is more about, giving me a chance to talk about Black Sabbath and Ozzy, and also to unbox this new box set. So if I can remember the track listing, it's Wheels of Confusion, Tomorrow's Dream, Changes, FX, and what's the last song on side 1? What is it? Can't remember. Oh my God. Okay, side 2 is Snowblind. I'll try to come back to that. Snowblind. Second track is I'm forgetting this too. I shouldn't have started this. I got too excited. I thought I could do it all. I can't handle the pressure. Can't take the heat. The last song is Every Day Comes and Goes. Under the Sun / Every Day Comes and Goes. Oh, second track on side 2 is Cornucopia. Then Laguna Sunrise is third track on side 2. After that is St. Vitus's Dance, and then the last song on side 2 is Under the Sun / Every Day Comes and Goes. What's the last song? Oh, Supernaut, of course. How can I forget? Supernaut is the last song on side 1. Did I get those right? Wheels of Confusion, Tomorrow's Dream, Changes, FX. Did I say FX? Supernaut. Yeah, I got them all right. All right. So going through these song by song now. Wheels of Confusion is, when I talked about Paranoid in the other episode, I mentioned that maybe 5 of the songs on Paranoid could be my top 10 Black Sabbath songs. I don't know what the other ones are, but Wheels of Confusion, aside from anything on Paranoid, Wheels of Confusion is, I'm pretty sure, my favorite Black Sabbath song. I could even make a case for it being, I've said that War Pigs is like the greatest heavy metal song ever, and probably my personal favorite Black Sabbath song, obviously, and my favorite on Paranoid. But I almost feel that that's in a category all on its own. Disregarding that category, yeah, maybe Wheels of Confusion / The Straightener might be my favorite Black Sabbath song. I love it. It's so long. It's got so many changes, so many riffs, and something about this album, and Wheels of Confusion is one of them. There's so much contrast on this album. In songs, there's Changes and same Laguna Sunrise, which are very kind of quiet, nice, mellow songs, and then you've got this incredible heaviness of, Wheels of Confusion, Cornucopia, Under the Sun. And then even within several songs, I don't know if I can remember each part as I talk about the songs. There's so much contrast between in one song between the heavy and the light, and they continued that. Black Sabbath was great at that, especially with Symptom of the Universe. Such a heavy song, and then they've got that last part, the last 2 minutes of the song, which is very kind of acoustic and mellow and trippy. Woman, Child of Love's Creation. And Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath 2, I don't know if it's the chorus or the refrain or what it is. Nobody will ever let you go. When you find the reason why, they just tell you that you're on your own. That's so nice and quiet and melodic and mellow. And then the rest of the song is so heavy. And there's quite a lot of that on this album too. I'll try to remember it as I go through it. Wheels of Confusion. Yeah, oh my God, it's incredible. It's got that great, it's kind of slow, and maybe my favorite Bill Ward drums song of all of the Black Sabbath songs. I love the drums on Wheels of Confusion, and it's slow. It's kind of not quite doomy, but it is very slow. And then there's that, I guess it's like a bridge, the middle part, lost in the wheels of confusion, hiding in valleys of tears. That's like, double time for the rest of the song. It's fast, it's heavy, and then they slide back into the slower gear, that riff that kind of drives the song again. And then the last 2 minutes of the song, which is the straightener, it's just kind of a little bit more up-tempo part of the song than the first part. Wheels of Confusion is a masterpiece. All right, and then next is Tomorrow's Dream. Excellent song, very kind of un-Sabbath. It's short. A lot of Black Sabbath songs are pretty long and complex. Tomorrow's Dream is quite short. I think it's simple. It's a little bit of lyrically also, it's not like a dark song like so many Black Sabbath songs are. A couple of kind of love or tender lyrics, songs lyrically on this album. But yeah, Tomorrow's Dream, it's more up tempo. It's got, I don't know if it's tambourine or some kind of percussive instrument in there. Well, I'm leaving tomorrow with daylight. When sadness fills my, it's time to look away. That part is very slow and heavy. When sadness fills my day, it's time to look away and see tomorrow's dream. And see tomorrow's. It's just reality for me. Is that what the lyric is? That's much slower and heavier again with that contrast. Next is Changes. I love Changes. I guess a lot of people don't like Changes. I love it. This could be Black Sabbath's version of Beth, although maybe it's more appropriate to say Beth is Kiss's version of Changes. I heard Beth years before I heard Changes, and I don't really care about Beth, but I love Changes. And that guy Youngblood, I talk about this in the Back to the Beginning farewell concert video. That guy Youngblood, who I'd never heard of before, sang Changes. Fucking awesome. And I did see people, I guess they're probably the same people saying that Coldplay is shitty and they shouldn't be covering Black Sabbath songs. I saw people saying the same thing about Youngblood singing Changes. I don't know how anybody could have said that Youngblood singing Changes wasn't one of the highlights of that concert. It was excellent. But Changes is great. Next is FX, stupid, pointless, the definition of filler. Garbage. Totally pointless. It just kind of interrupts the flow of the album. Totally unnecessary. It's Tony Iommi. I guess the story is he had like a big cross necklace hanging on his neck, and the cross was banging against the strings of his guitar, the back of his guitar or something. And they just recorded it and put it on the record. Stupid. FX. Pointless. But then next is the last song, the one that I couldn't think of earlier, is Supernaut. And Supernaut is an awesome song. Mastodon did that at the Back to the Beginning concert. I love that percussion breakdown. Another great riff. I don't think people kind of overlook maybe Supernaut as a great riff in Black Sabbath's catalog. I love it. Supernaut is excellent. And then side 2, the first song is Snowblind. Snowblind is also, I'm sure, in my top 10 Black Sabbath songs, which I guess would make it my second favorite song on this record after Wheels of Confusion / The Straightener. Yeah, Snowblind, it's just so, it's slow, but not in the way that Wheels of Confusion is. It's got that great riff. I love everything about that song. What you get, and I'm not going to sing it. What you get and what you see. Things that don't come easily. Feeling happy in my pain. Icicles within my brain. Cocaine. I love that song. Love it. And is there a middle part in that? And everybody says that song is about cocaine and apparently it's Geezer who whispers cocaine. But I mean, lyrically, it really is about snow. It's about snow glistening on the trees. Oh, this also does have the contrast in this song is the quiet part. What's the lyric? My eyes are blind, but I can see. My eyes are blind, but I can see. The snowflake glisten on the trees. No longer, whatever it is, that's great. It really is about snow. And this album was supposed to be called Snowblind. Black Sabbath album titles, original ones, were way better. I talked about this when I did Paranoid, which was supposed to be called War Pigs. I thought War Pigs is a way, way better name for that album than Paranoid. And I think Snowblind would have been a better name for this album. But who cares at this point? Yeah, Snowblind is great. Next is Cornucopia. And I don't know what a cornucopia is. It sounds like something you would buy in a bakery. I have a feeling that's not correct. I don't think the song is about baked goods. But I do love Cornucopia. Maybe one of the heaviest Black Sabbath songs. That song is devastatingly heavy. It's fantastic. Is there a kind of a contrast in that one? I can't think of it. If there is one, I can't think of what it is. Anyway, yeah, Cornucopia is excellent. Next is Laguna Sunrise. Filler also, like FX, but much, much better. I like Laguna Sunrise. It's just a 2 or 2.5 minute instrumental. Just Tony playing acoustic guitar He did that again on Fluff, on Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, which was the next record. I like Fluff even more than I like Laguna Sunrise. Yeah, this is the kind of filler that I don't mind. Laguna Sunrise is good, even though it's an instrumental. Next is St. Vitus's Dance. This is another real kind of a contrast here. This song is, for me, in the same vein as Paranoid. It doesn't sound like Paranoid at all, but it's very short. It's less than 3 minutes. Maybe it's 240, 250 around there. I think right around the same time as Paranoid. It's kind of up-tempo like Paranoid. It doesn't have this sludginess of Electric Funeral or, I don't know, Hand of Doom or something like that. And it's kind of, also lyrically, this is another kind of a love song. What's the opening line? So you think you know what's going on inside her head. You think she wants your money, but it's you she wants instead. And I guess this song was written kind of as a message by Geezer to Bill Ward. I guess Bill Ward was having some of these problems with a woman, and kind of a real contrast between the lyrics, kind of a love song, and although St. Vitus's Dance musically, it's also not heavy. It's kind of up-tempo. I love St. Vitus's Dance. I think it's a great song. And then the last song is Under the Sun / Every Day Comes and Goes. Another really, really heavy one. For me, almost like a companion to Cornucopia. Well, I don't need no Jesus freak to tell me what I'm all about. That's a great song. That was one that they did live. I think the 2 times that I saw them in 2013 and 16, I think they were doing it on those last 2 tours. So yeah, Volume 4, it is my second favorite Black Sabbath album. And I think some people might be under the impression, if you don't know anything about it, that's a live album, because it's got, a live picture of Ozzy going like this. The gatefold of the original album was also a live picture. Reminds me of Let There Be Rock. The cover of Let There Be Rock, it looks like a live album. All right? But it's not. So I will open it up now and go through it. So again, there it is. And there's the back. And the hype sticker says the ultimate Black Sabbath package, 5 LPs, Volume 4 Super Deluxe Edition, featuring original album newly remastered, 2 LPs of unreleased outtakes mixed by Steven Wilson. I don't know who Steven Wilson is, but I guess he knows what he's doing. Live in the UK, 1973 double LP, 40-page book with photos, artwork, and liner notes, and a color poster. Everything is exactly the same as the Paranoid. 5 albums, 40-page book, poster. I don't know, Paranoid also had like a tour, like a little tour book, a tour program, something like that, a replica. Anyway, now what I am a little bit disappointed about, both in this and Paranoid, I only learned this after, I think, and I still would have bought this. The live albums here, what do they call it? Live in the UK, 1973, and Black Sabbath, the Paranoid Super Deluxe had live in Montreux and live in Brussels, 2 separate concerts. What I realized after I went back and listened to them, they were largely taken from the Past Lives album, and I did an episode talking about Past Lives. So, they're not unreleased. I guess it's kind of cool to have a more comprehensive version of the concert. But yeah, and the bonus tracks on here, they are better. Paranoid really just had a different mix. It had the original album, plus then a different mix of the album, and the 3 live albums. It didn't have any outtakes or anything. The box set did. The deluxe version, it's very confusing. It did have some outtakes, but the deluxe, super deluxe version did not. This one is a little bit better. This does have outtakes and alternate versions, things like that, which I like much more. Something also I noticed, I'm not sure why, there's the Paranoid. The Paranoid is considerably thicker. The packaging is considerably thicker than Volume 4, which, as I said, it's kind of strange because they both have the same contents, except for a very, very thin booklet that is in this one that Volume 4 does not have. All right, so I'm going to open this up now and take a look and go through it. All right. This knife is not, it's not knifing very well. I've had it for like over 10 years. It maybe needs to be sharpened. I'm sure I'll find my way. Oh, I don't want to cut anything. All right, let me do it this way. And there's the back. I don't know what they call this. I don't know. No idea what they call it. By record nerd standards, there must be a name for that. I don't know what it is. And I'll put that there. So there's, this just has, same as Paranoid, it has that extra information there in white above their heads. And the barcode, which this one, the actual box, does not have. Where can I put this? Somewhere safe. All right. So there it is. And I will open it. That's the book. And they're beautiful, beautiful books. There it is. This is the 40-page, nice hardcover book. Let me take a look. Oh, that's cool. Oh, you can hear the spine cracking. I feel like that's not a good sign when you can hear that. Let's look at it together. Yeah, it feels like it could, or it sounds like it could fall apart easily. Lots of text in here. It's really cool. The book alone would probably sell for, what, 40 or 50 bucks if you could, if they sold this separately in a bookstore. It's a very lovely book. There's some of the single artwork. There's a listing of the contents of the box set. This is the photo that was in the gatefold of the original album. Or at least the one that I got a few years ago. I assume also the original. And there it is. All right, so there's that. This is the poster. And the poster is very well done. It's very printed on very thick, heavy, sturdy paper. Take a look at that. Let me see it. All right. Oh, I guess this was like a promotional thing. Ice hot till hell freezes over on Warner's. That would be Warner Brothers. And then some catalog numbers down here. All right. Pretty cool. I'll put it away just like with Paranoid and other albums that come with posters. They're really cool. You get all excited, and then you put the poster back, and you never see it again. Okay, so here is the original album. This was remastered. Now I did listen to them today. The first time I listened to it was the remaster that I have, that I've had on my phone for years. I don't know what year it was from, but to me it's not this one. This is the original album remastered. This was a remaster from it says 2021. Original album 2021 remaster. The one that I like more than this, I don't know what year it's from, but this one, and not much difference. Same with the Paranoid remaster. It's just a little bit quieter. I feel like sometimes remasters, the only thing that's different is they're louder, and that's it. Just the green label, black vinyl. You know what it looks like. So that's the original album, and then LP2. And it's cool. Each album has a different guy on it. So there's Ozzy on disc 1. And Tony. Hey! Tony! Seinfeld. There's Tony on the second record. So the outtakes on here are, there are 5 versions of Wheels of Confusion. Well, in order: Wheels of Confusion, and then Changes, Supernaut, Snowblind. That's on side 1, and then of this record, side 1, which is side 3 of the box set. Side 4, or side 2 of this record, outtakes of Laguna Sunrise, an instrumental version of Under the Sun, and then 4 different versions. So 5 outtakes of Wheels of Confusion, plus the original one, 6 versions of Wheels of Confusion. The first one, they say false start with studio dialogue, and then alternative take 1, alternative take 2, alternative take 3. Shouldn't it be alternate, not alternative? All right. And then this one is alternative takes, false starts, and studio dialogue, and it's got Geezer on it right there. And they are, oh, again, Wheels of Confusion, alternative take 4, and then the straightener, so not attached to Wheels of Confusion, but just the straightener on its own. An outtake, Snowblind, alternative take 1, incomplete. Supernaut outtake, and then the other side is another version of Supernaut. It says alternative takes with false starts. And then Under the Sun, false start with studio dialogue. And then Under the Sun, alternative take with guide vocal. All right. And then the last record is and that's all. Nothing else in the box. It doesn't have the tour program that Paranoid had. So this is the double album, live in the UK, 1973. I assume they were taken from different shows, because if they were taken from one show, it'd say live in London, or live in Bristol, or live in Birmingham, or live in Saffron Walden. But since it says live in the UK, I would imagine they're culled from multiple shows. And this is the only one with a gatefold, because it's a double record. And they are, first side of the first record is Tomorrow's Dream, then Sweet Leaf, then War Pigs. And then the other side of the first record is Snowblind, Killing Yourself to Live, and Cornucopia. And then the first side of the second album in here is Only Wicked World. I think that's around 18 or 19 minutes or something, so it takes up a whole side. And then the second side of the second record, which is the last side of this entire box, is Supernaut plus a drum solo, or reprise of Wicked World. It's too bad that they had to split that up on opposite sides. I wonder how that's going to sound. And then Embryo, filler, Children of the Grave, and Paranoid. All right, so that's it. That's all of them. Let me make sure everything is safe and sound from animals. Put this together. So there we go. I'm very happy to have this. Perfect timing for all this to be happening. The farewell concert, Ozzy dying, these box sets coming into my life. I'm very, very happy. Remember when I was really into Rat like a month ago? Remember that? That's switching to Black Sabbath and Ozzy now. So that's it for this big, giant, heavy, beautiful, beautiful box set. Now I'm going to have to look into possibly getting, I assume they've done, I know there's one for Technical Ecstasy, but I don't remember seeing one for like the first album, Master of Reality, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, or Sabotage. Maybe, I haven't really looked, but I do remember there's one for Technical Ecstasy, which I think I mentioned earlier. I don't even like that album, or maybe I talked about that yesterday. But I'm very happy to have this. Everything is just being, I'm living in Ozzy world these days, or the last couple of weeks. That's it. Thank you for watching. This has been the presentation of the big, beautiful, not the big, beautiful bill, the big, beautiful box set of Black Sabbath, Volume 4.